This is the Nintendo Players UK podcast, episode 20. It's the Mental Health Awareness Week special, and this year's theme is community, so we had to jump on that. So today I've got guest with me, Helen, who runs Donegal. Helen, would you like to introduce yourself properly?
Hi everyone, my name is Helen Doherty. I used to run Street Pass London, and then created Nintendo Donegal. Well, it was originally Street Pass Donegal, um, in I think it was 2015, but then had the first event in 2016, and yeah, it's still going. So shout out to Terry if you're listening, because he runs it too. He lives in Park Donegal, so which is good because it means you can between us we can host events in different parts of the county. I mean, I don't live in Donegal anyway, but I live near Donegal, so
Okay, cool. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jen Griffiths, and I co-run Nintendo North Wales with my husband Dylan, and we've been running since 2012, but officially since 2013, because the whole story behind that. But yeah, so I'm also the head admin, co-head admin for Nintendo Players UK as well, and the host of this podcast. So we're discussing community and the benefits for mental health today. So. You mentioned that Donegal started in 2016, but you ran Street Pass London originally. What got you into all that in the first place, Helen?
well, I used to run meetups for Sonic fans. Um, so and I'd been thinking about doing like a 3DS meetup because I used to go to this group called DS London, which is where the DS like users, which I was one, we'd all meet up and play our DSs, like the old Tetris and Mario Kart 5 and stuff. So when the 3DS era came, then and Street Pass UK started up, I just they were looking for people to run events all over the UK basically. And obviously DS London was still running now with 3DSs, but London is a city, so I thought, well, why not create Street Pass London? And yeah, it was like a really big group at the time. Like we grew it to like nearly 600 members. And I do miss it, but yeah. But
Yeah,
what
you've gone from city to not city, haven't you, really? Donegal's quite a small place, isn't it?
exactly?
So yeah, my beginnings, it all started when me and Dolan got married, and we got married in 2012 in a castle, and we played Mario Kart in the bit between the breakfast and the evening. We had a Mario Kart time trial on the DS, which was officially the trickiest Mario Kart in existence, apparently. But we managed to do it, and we came home and we realised we didn't have any friends to play with at home. So that's where Street Pass North Wales became a thing. So basically, my logic was I didn't fit in anywhere, so I needed to create that space to in order to belong to something. So my idea about community is to create a space for people to belong to. And that's been my mission for Nintendo North Wales and still is to this day, really, to create a space that people can feel part of. And it's a safe space and it's inclusive and we pride ourselves on that. And we turned 13 this year, so we're still going strong, which is nice. But of course, we're out in the sticks because we're based in Bangor, North Wales. But my flag, well, not my flag, my profile on Nintendo Players UK website actually says in Welsh, waving the flag for North Wales because I was determined to put North Wales on the map. And when we hooked up with what was Street Pass Manchester in the day, who became head of Street Pass UK, who I interviewed a couple of years ago for our 10th anniversary. James Bowden, he hooked us up with the rest of the UK and what became the Street Pass UK main hub, which is now known as Nintendo Players UK, of course. So we've got a very deep history across Nintendo Players UK. A lot of the groups are at least 10 years old. Even Helen with 2016, you'll be 10 years old next year as well. So,
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, I was doing Nintendo London, and I think that was created in it couldn't have been later than 2014. It was either 2014 or 2013. So, yeah, I've been with Nintendo players for over 10 years now. So,
yeah, so we came from kind of humble beginnings because we were as Street Pass groups, we weren't really visible because no one knew what a Street Pass was outside of Nintendo. Everyone obviously knows what Nintendo is. Everyone in the dog had a Nintendo Wii, for example, but no
Mhm.
one really knew what street passing was. So when we became Nintendo location in 2017, when the Switch was out, everyone sort of started to go, oh, there's Nintendo groups. We need to tap into that. So that's when we started growing properly, really. But we put the effort in as Street Pass. We did as much as we can. But of course, it was difficult because we were pretty much invisible then. But it's nice that we've got sort of recognition as being the Nintendo hub for the big one of the biggest Nintendo hubs in the UK for fans, run by fans as well. So over the years, have you got a favourite memory of running your group, Helen?
Um, I guess with Nintendo Donegal, it was the last event. Actually, it wasn't the last event, but it feels like the last event because we had a couple of like little pub ones afterwards. But like the last big event, it had like 35, 36 people, and there was such a buzz in the room. And I actually had a bit of a panic attack halfway through, but nobody noticed. That's how buzzing everybody was, and everyone was just getting on with the activities, and it was just great to see. So probably that. What about you?
Yeah, so you mentioned the panic attack. It's important to note that everyone has mental health, and even the leaders running the groups sometimes struggle with their mental health. So
Yeah.
my backstory is that I had a severe anxiety disorder until lockdown, and I was running the group for the good seven or 8 years because obviously lockdown was 2020 and my group was born in 2012. So for the first year before 2013 September, which was our first official event, I was actually too anxious to meet people and tell people about the group. I was relying on street passes. So if someone street passed me, I'd leave a welcome note in the speech bubble saying what our group was called, and people would find us kind of by accident that way. But we had to start somewhere, and it turned out I was quite good at masking. So with an anxiety disorder and wanting to host the events because I knew it was my passion, I had to see it through. With the support of my husband, I was able to mask quite well to be the event host. So I've always been in charge of like the admin side and the raffle tickets specifically. So I'd usually do the raffle call outs, but I'd get people to pick the numbers out for me and Dylan would often shout the numbers, but now I do it all myself. He does the tech side and the help with the actual setup side, and behind the scenes we both organise it. We used to spend, I used to spend weeks agonizing over it, like, oh, is it going to go well? What if no one turns up and stuff? It was all unfounded because people would come back month after month, and we actually got quite cliquey just before lockdown. Lockdown gave us a chance to reframe and reset effectively. So we came out of lockdown with my mission of being inclusive again, reboosted, reset, ready to go. So I love that it's become a place where people look forward to meeting each other and they even count down to when the next event is because we've got a Discord server and people get excited in there when the next event is, and we always go to the pub for tea after and everyone's invited and that kind of thing. It's a nice little kind of friendship group. And I love that people have come in usually anxious, usually shy, don't fit in anywhere, but by a few months in, they're joining in with everything. Because we've got a year-long league in North Wales, so basically we have a theme. So this year's theme is the party theme because Mario Party Jamboree came out at the end of last year. So we're basing it on Mario Party. And you get points per session, but it adds up across the year. And at the end of the year, if you come in the top three, you get a special custom made trophy, which we've done since 2014. 2014 had the official Mario Kart trophies, and after that, we've got them made by a local glass making company. So people are anticipating that you have them comparing points in the league, trying to work out how many they need to win to get to the trophies and that kind of thing. It's really nice to see them kind of conversing in the server and comparing notes and stuff for that. Um, but yeah, my best memory is actually a more central one because back in 2015, which will be 10 years ago in a month's time, we did a North versus South event where North Wales met South Wales in the middle of Wales, which was Aberystwyth. And we had a North versus South massive battle between the games. And South Wales was made up of mainly Smash people, and we were all rounders. So we ended up winning the trophy and taking it home because we took part in the most stuff. Whereas South Wales were like, we want to play Smash, we want to play Mario Kart, we don't want to do anything else. So that kind of encouraged my group in the north to get involved with everything you can. So we'll often have games in events where people have never heard of the game, but they'll sign up for it anyway because we made it look fun and everyone gets involved with everything. It's really nice to see. So mental health struggles, going back to that, there was an event just before lockdown where I had a panic attack, but I was masking as well, so no one could tell on the day that I was having any kind of a panic attack, apart from Dylan, my husband, who picked on up on it that I wasn't myself, but everybody else was oblivious, and that made me feel like I was unnoticed and unwanted. But that was at the height of my anxiety disorder, so thankfully I don't feel like that anymore. I feel appreciated now, and that's the good thing. But it's important to recognise that we also need support as leaders as well. So if you've got an admin team, that's great. If you've got people, friends who can help you, that's great too. You don't have to do it on your own. I think it's important not to do it on your own as well if you can help it. If you don't
Yeah.
have any friends, well, that's what you're creating the community for. You will find friends in time.
Well, that's why I had the panic attack at my last, not the last one, but like that big one, because like I was doing it alone, and it just made me realize no more big events by myself. Like it's all right doing a little one, like a little low key pubby one, but no big like tournament type events for me. Not unless I've got a number two with me.
Yeah.
So
You need a team to really pull off a big event. When we did Birmingham in 2022, when we did a central NPUK one, we had a committee. I established a committee in 2020, and I lead a committee of 9 members who meet once a fortnight for accountability and to add a bit of structure to NPUK. So in 2022, the committee managed to pull together an epic event in Birmingham where all the groups were invited. We organised coaches from various corners of the country, but it was slightly over budget, so I'm not sure we can do that again. But that was like the epic memory of Nintendo Players UK events. We used to do
oh,
central events because there was the Smash tournament in 2015 was quite a memorable one in Birmingham too, but they're few and far between. So we take value in the ones that do happen when they can, and hope there will be a future one at some point. But all I can say at this point is watch this space.
hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I knew about
Sorry.
that. I don't think I knew about that Birmingham event. This sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, it was October. It was October 2022 because I had like 3 events back to back weekends. It was chaotic for me, but we made it. We made it work. Everyone had a fantastic time on the front end, but on the back end it was a little bit chaotic. But I won't go into that.
Was it a mini
As long
con?
as what you present comes out okay, that's all good.
Yeah. There's a
So
saying, isn't
yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
So how does the community benefit members in general? So with my community, I love seeing the people, as I mentioned before, like coming to the group unsure of themselves, unsure, may not have any friends who've just come to check it out. They'll sit there for a while. So, like the last couple of years, has been a couple of examples of adult males coming in, not sure who to talk to, and eventually they'll start talking to the odd 1 or 2 people. And then eventually, again, they might try and play a game. And then the end, one of them's just started playing the league after sitting there for about 6 months of events. And he's like, "Oh, I'll actually have a go at this." And he actually came top of the round for that particular league session. So that was good. I've had a couple of other people who've been like that as well, who are slightly younger, like early 20s, and they don't really have any friendship groups. They might be on the autistic spectrum or ADHD, and they don't really know how to fit in. But because a lot of our members are neurodivergent in some way or other, they do fit in, but it might take them a bit of time, but we give them that space to adjust. And I think that's really nice too. What's it like for you, Helen, in your group?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like same with the like quite a few neurodiverse people, like and Donegal is like a farming community. It's very different from like London or like Derry, Londonderry. So like stuff like playing video games, like playing Nintendo games, not really like encouraged in society. Like, so it's great for people to come together and meet like-minded people because, like, where else would you? It's not like there's any like gaming conventions or anything going on in Donegal. So, not that I'm aware of, anyway. Um,
Yeah, it's the same for us
so,
in Bangor. There's not much going on. It's always
exactly,
in the big cities.
exactly.
But yeah,
So
it's not just our members it benefits. We also benefit Nintendo itself by being the visible part of Nintendo in the UK. Because they used to have Nintendo reps, but they're obsolete years ago. But we're effectively the waving the flag for Nintendo and saying, "Hey, you can come and get involved here." Because Nintendo itself is all about bringing people together and playing together as a community. And the Switch 2 that's upcoming in the next month or so, that is encouraging it again with the game chat feature. We're looking forward to trying that out as a community.
yeah.
So as a benefit to Nintendo UK, I think we're very valuable for them. But where do you see the future heading?
Well, yeah. Hopefully, we can continue like adding value to Nintendo UK out in the Republic of Ireland. I think we're the only group still in the Irish Republic at the moment. Actually, there used to be Nintendo Limerick, but they are no more at the moment. So yeah, just continue like meeting up, hanging out, chatting about Nintendo. What about you guys?
Yeah, so we're looking forward to the Switch 2. As I say, we're looking forward to trying the game chat feature out. I'm not sure if we do more frequent online nights because I realized during lockdown that despite us being gamers who generally like playing online, we're more about the in-person meets. As a community, we prefer meeting in person to play games rather than playing online, which seems counterintuitive, but we'll see if that changes when the Switch 2 comes out and the hype is there. Because I know that the launch night, we're planning a Mario Kart World Tour night, and everyone's excited for that who's getting a Switch 2. So, looking forward to seeing what the Switch 2 will give to the communities to boost them as a kind of engaged, active togetherness, as it were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I
There's a
think
lot more years in us yet.
yeah, it's all about meeting up in person. Like, I mean, you could play online with any randoms online, but if you go to a real life meetup, like you're seeing everyone that in 3D, and it's incomparable. Like that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's
So, have you got a community in your local area that you can tap into? Look at our map, which is nintendoplayers.uk map or find us, I think. Hang on, let me just find it. Yeah,
Nintendo.
nintendoplayers.uk/find. And if you don't have an event in your area or a community, you can always make your own. If you want to set up a community that's part of the NPUK hub, you can apply via the page nintendoplayers.uk/about-us, and there's a link at the bottom to fill in a form. But if you're worried about going alone, you don't have to be alone. So if you don't know anyone in your area, tap into your nearest group, even if it's a few miles away. Obviously, off in Bangor and Donegal, we might not be in your local vicinity, but there will be a group somewhere in the UK that can offer you some help, or if they're local enough, maybe they can help you find a venue and get you set up in the first place, and then you see where it goes from there. So if you want to set up a community with Nintendo Players UK, you have to be able to hold an event yourself first without support, just to prove that you're serious about wanting to set up a community. And once you've done that, you get access to all the support from us. So if you're missing a community in your area and you'd like to see people playing Nintendo by you, get in touch with us. You don't have to fill in the form. You can get in touch with us on any of our channels. We are Nintendo Players UK. We're on most platforms. If you can't find us, well, our Facebook page is easily answered, and Instagram probably is a good one too. Um, how do we find Donegal if we want to attend your events?
Is it not on the Nintendo Players
There
UK
is a map.
map? Yeah, I think it's
Yes.
there.
On the
Um,
nintendoplayers.co.uk/find page is a map, and you can see where all the communities are. If you
yeah,
click on the red icons, it will tell you where the current communities are. And if there's a bald spot where you are, consider setting one up, basically,
yeah,
and see
and
where we go.
we're on Facebook as well, so got the Facebook group. So yeah, if any, I guess like for those not on Facebook, like sorry, it is kind of Facebook
Yeah, we're
oriented.
quite Facebook centered. Although
Yeah,
NPUK is on Blue Sky, X, Instagram, Facebook, all the major platforms. We're making a presence on YouTube and we're on Twitch as well. Um, Nintendo North Wales were basically on Facebook and Discord. Oh yeah, NPUK's got a Discord server as well, of course. So Nintendo North Wales is probably most active on our Discord server. But we also have a Facebook page and Facebook group and Instagram, which we use fairly regularly. The Facebook's a lot more regular than the Instagram because I'm in charge of that and I forget about it quite often. But you can find us to get in contact with us. You can send us a message if you need to ask any questions or your local wants to attend the event and when to find out when they are. We meet once a month in Bangor, usually in the Weldon building, but this Saturday we're in M Spark, which is on the High Street. It's a smaller venue, but we're just grateful we've got a home to be at any point in time, really. So yeah. So
oh,
thanks. Sorry.
also, if anyone in the Republic of Ireland wants to set up an event, like feel free to like poke me, or again, like you can apply through that. Even though it says Nintendo Players UK, it is actually Nintendo Players UK in Ireland. So don't be put off
Yeah.
applying if you want to set up a group in like Wexford or something.
Yeah, just get in touch, of course. So thanks, Helen, for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast episode and
I
Mental Health Awareness Week. Don't forget to find your community to belong to.
get on it, guys.